Yeah, rap talk, motivation, Lofi poems. Just a little bit of motivation to get through the night. I just wanted to come in and do a couple poems for my people. Meditation, motivation speech. Be sure to handle business. Do what you gotta do. Feel free to join the conversation if that's how you feel. It's about to talk some shit. Cause we touching people. We handling business. There's so much we could do. You understand? In this life, and in this run, you gotta have effort. Ain't nothing gonna happen without effort. That's a positive tool. It's a powerful tool, effort. You walk towards your goals. Subconsciously, your goals will be willing to receive and walk towards you also. It's a gap that we close. Pause this for a minute. It's a gap that we close when you're working, when you have effort. Let me get into this piece I wrote called Effort. Listen to me. I'm gonna read this one off the ink. Although a lot of my poems, some of them I do be doing it off the top of the head. Some I'm creating off the top of the head. This one is written. It's a motivational piece called Effort. Put in that work. Ain't no way around it. You'd wish it was a magic pill. Let's just say confidence I've not found it. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. But you would, so get on your grind, tell the world to make a way. To make way. This thing called effort attracts energy. Real energy, and it shows. Authentic love. Ain't no reason to spend money or look for a reason for cheat codes. On this road, I reign supreme, but share my dream with the team. We gonna make some mistakes, but the outcome won't change a damn thing. Don't judge me for my mishaps. I'll keep going, so accept it. Work hard, it's gonna meet you halfway. So keep putting in that effort. Effort. Rap talk, that's that poem of peace. Yeah. Trying to get this joint to play good. There you go. That piece is called Effort. I'm gonna just do a couple of poems. Just want to stay productive. Just chiming in on the late night tip. Or the early tip. However you watch this video, you might catch it on the replay. It's multiple ways. It's meditation. It's motivation. Speech poems with Lofi beats. It's work at will. That's one thing about independence. You can do it whenever you want to. That's why these tools like this, you have outlets like YouTube, social media, use it for the greater good. Use it to produce for positivity. It's much easier that way to look for the message. How much messy you gotta search for and find. And now I'm gonna get into another piece I wrote too. The piece is called Entitlement. Because we definitely living in a world where the world and people want entitlement for some reason. Entitlement is a powerful thing, a powerful tool also. It took over the world. Got the masses running and moving crazy. Because everybody feel like they deserve. Let me get into this poem, a piece of a poem I wrote called Entitlement. Listen to me. First off, stop playing the victim. Listen to me. If I don't agree with you, that don't mean that I'm right and you wrong. The lines of communication and disagreement, sadly enough, is what keeps the world moving on. Fuck your opinions. Fuck your observations. When you don't know the full story, it's easy to sit on the sideline watching the judge making it. We all need help. But you happy to say alone that you did it. Some people's sacrifices is bigger than yours, but you took the easy way out and just quit it. Don't compare my story to yours. I guess it's the point where I fabricate growing up in the hood and how life is hard. If we wasn't given a title poor niggas, we probably would think more large. We once was kings and queens, but where that knowledge went. Now we all want to be victims and looking for entitlement. Entitlement. Rap talk, that's that form of peace. Yeah, low key, y'all got me ready to pull up, but I ain't gonna do it. This ain't nothing but a mellow old Monday night. I'm just doing these poems for somebody that's out there that need a little bit of motivation. Not a little bit. Cause ain't nothing little around here. I need a lot of motivation. Life is your will. Poetry and conversations. At the end of the day, it's all up to you. You heard that before. And I know a lot of things in motivation, it may sound cliche and simple. But you'll be surprised how one man had to take in things over and over to really accept it and digest it and really take it in for what it's really worth. It's kind of like when you was a kid and you was told to stop. Sometimes you had to hear it over and over more than one time, multiple times for you to really just stop. Repetition is a thing. Doing something over and over is a cause and effect. You do create a reaction. It's kind of like when you're at your job or whatever position that you do. You on that line or that assembly line at that plant. Whatever they taught you to do or told you to do, once you do it over and over, you gain a way to start doing that shit backwards or whatever or anything. You do that shit with your eyes closed after a while. Once you really get it down pack and know what you're doing, take you to a moment, take you to a time and place when you really can do it next level. That's the goal. Do it next level. Because I know I can honestly say that a lot of the things that I'm in tune with and doing, or the goals that I didn't set out, hopefully yours too, that you really did it. I mean, I can honestly say the goals I created and things that I'm walking towards, I did it. It's just the level. It's just the scaling of it. Making it bigger. Got apparel. Got clothes. For sale, merchandise. You can get. The link could be pinned to the top of the comments if you want to get the Intelligence and Sexy shirts. I have merchandise. Do shows. I have product. Have poetry. Have done speaking engagements. Got a business in name. Have passive income coming in. But the thing is again, just scaling it to a bigger level. That's what we want. Want to do it bigger. Another level. That's what we work towards. That's what you should work towards. Again, you've been given everything that you need. You have that already. All the tools. What you waiting on for somebody just to put it in your lap? It sound good. Yeah, it look good. On paper. But the finished product, that's what we're going at. Let me get into another poem of peace. I also wrote a book too. Did that, like I say, things I sought out, I did. You can too. It's all about taking it to the next level, making it bigger. And this book can be purchased also. That's gonna be pinned to the comments too. This book I wrote years ago called Pocket Size Poetry. I'm about to do a poem of peace out of here. I got this poem here I wrote about my kids when they was at a very young age. They was at a very young age. They might have been about 4 or 5 years old. It's a piece of poem I wrote called Kitty Love. I have twins, a boy and a girl. Shout out to them also. They be checking out the videos. You know, my daughter hit me up sometimes like, I like that poem, like that one. So the kids, they do be tweaking. Well, they're young adults now. They ain't really kids. Even though dad do be flying off at the hip and lip on some of this shit, but we all grown now, so I mean, they still got some growing to do. They're young adults though, but shout out to my twins, Daquana, Dakila. Y'all out there watching. Tuned in to this particular video. Just keep doing what y'all doing. Make Dad proud. I want y'all to be better than me. But I still want to be better than y'all too, because y'all deserve the world. Let's get out and explore. So listen to this poem of piece I wrote. It's called Kitty Love. Your smile makes me appreciate life. Your smile makes me do what's right. Your behavior makes me notice mine. Because when you watch, I change all the time. I can only love the way I've learned. So I'm setting you up for when it's your turn. You make me stop. You make me go. Now I finally think of consequences and what I live for. I live your life, guidance, and help. After all this searching, I finally see myself. Kitty Love. That's that poem of peace. Can it all be so simple? Take me back. We talk about that sometimes. Can it all be so simple? Childhood, learners, going outside playing, getting lost in happiness and love and things to do and being creative. Can it all be so simple again? The back when we can just go outside and create a whole day amongst our imagination. Imagine getting back to that. Imagine seeing that. Imagine that day. A moment in time when you could just be free. Man, I swear they playing me. Man, for real, YouTube playing games. I shouldn't even be sharing this with y'all, but YouTube is playing games. For real, for real. I'm trying to tune in from another joint and watch the video live myself just to see. And they ain't doing nothing but buffering. Man, it's taking a minute. They don't want your boy to get off. We got a little bit of action. They want your boy to get off or what? I mean, how we moving? Man, for real. That boy's super buffering. I'm just trying to just check in and just make sure the video and everything is right. Man. I'm trying to tell y'all, there don't be no conspiracy when we talk about these positive subjects and how they don't want to push this shit out to the masses, man. I mean, you might think a lot of us be going off the hip and thinking like more people should be tuned in and all this or this, that, and the third, but man, that should be real. I used to feel the same way looking at certain people who would be doing shows and stuff like that on the internet, and I used to be thinking like, man, they just talking shit, man. Ain't nobody trying to blackball or play them or not push them out to the mass. You know, that shit is, once you get on the inside of this shit and you really start working from this side of it, and you start putting out material and content creating and all that, and you got positive titles and you ain't riding the wave of the trends, or your shit gonna get pushed to the back. I come to really learn that your shit do get pushed to the back. Your shit don't be up there like Okay, let's boost this and push this message out here and play it on the world. No, that shit real. Certain trigger words that's shit like positive and nah. Let me say fuck, fuck, fucking. That's why some of these people they mix it so much. Look at people like Andrew Tate, stuff like that. I mean, notice I watch people and I try to see the different growth in others. When you throw them cussing words up in there, your shit boost up. So just off top, let me just throw a bitch in there and see what y'all want to do. Bitch, 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 make me rich. The souls ain't for sale over here though. These are all natural contents of a person. Because you can just see me flip at the hip at some time. I am like that. And it is masses that's out there. Kind of like Tupac and certain people. You had to put the medicine in the candy. That's how the world works. Put a little medicine in the candy. Yeah, that shit real. You had to. Because people don't want to be preached at, talked to, or feel guilty. When you feel guilty about certain things, you run from it. The message is a message. It's all about the delivery and how one can consume it. What's your take-in moments? Some people got to see a big-ass booty on the video before they click on it. Look at your algorithm on YouTube. It's the reason why all them different asses pop up on your page and beautiful women or whatever, or cars, or whatever you into, or sports. Your whole history of everything you search and all that. You might think you erased it or whatever. But no, it's there. It's all for advertisement purposes also. They tune in and watch. Information is shared. And we all spending that dollar just for your listening ear. That's why when the monetization happens over here, in the form of smart people, commercials going to come on. Unless they just tap into the location and they just see the area, the Detroit area, and understand we don't cater to that. But all of this is analytics and business. Speaking of Detroit, I'm gonna get into another piece I wrote. And actually I wrote this piece, I wanna say before Kwame went to jail. I mean, for those who don't know, I am from Detroit. Well, most of y'all know that by now, but if it's any new viewers and new people tuned in, I am from Detroit. And if you're familiar with Detroit, you know most of you know our former mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, which is free now. He's actually a minister doing this thing. I think he down there in Atlanta now. But the history of, I want to say I wrote this before he went to jail, went to prison, or either while he was in there. But I definitely remember there was a lot going on with my city at the time to make me write and create this poem. Because I was just thinking about so much that was going on. And a lot of people don't know this also. I mean, even though I'm not the creator of the brand, shout out to them. But I definitely feel positive enough to talk about and speak about what the whole saying, Detroit versus everybody come from. I feel I can go on record and really speak on this. It all stemmed from around this time when all this different stuff was going on with my city. We had the city council going through a lot. We had our mayor going through a lot. We had our city so-called saying being broken, money being stole from schools and water board issues. I mean, it was all types of countless stuff. I'm talking about even people from other cities who just clowning Detroit, just talking about how raggedy it is, and I'm talking about all over it. I even remember they had like a nightline special or some stuff. It was, man, I'm talking about, it was bad. I'm talking about Detroit was just the laughing stock of just media for a couple of years. In the moments. That's where us being up against the wall and that whole fight just came out, Detroit versus everybody. Some people don't know that. That's where that came from. That's where that saying came from, because we was going through so much at the time. It was like everybody just clowning Detroit. So it was Detroit versus everybody. Listen to this poem and piece I wrote. This was a poem I wrote called Day Say at the time. I can't recall the exact moment I wrote it, but listen to me. They say my city's in a crisis. Shouldn't be like this. $1 million churches, but the hood ain't righteous. I write this kind of poem with Kwame in mind. Would the media destroy him if he wasn't my kind? Because a few years ago he was praised. Many was afraid just because of his age. Front page every issue, there's another scandal. The city got a budget that the mayor can't handle. The sister would never tell the truth, admit it. And there'll never be another Coleman Young, forget it. Got people in disguise telling lies and stories. $1 million condos that ain't built for $1 million condos that ain't built for me. Seems like the end of Black Detroit is getting closer and closer. All the whites moving back, trying to change my culture. They think we all foolish pimps and hoes. But fuck the man, fuck the system, put yourself in control. You know? They say. They say. Yeah, that's that poem in peace. Listen to me. I'm gonna bring that back. There was a lot going on in my city at the time. Even just saying this poem, just bringing back memories of just how we was treated and what was going on. That's why I was entitled They Say. Because the people that wasn't from here, all they could do was just speak on it. They say. They say my city's in a crisis. That was always the word on the street. The crisis in Detroit. The crisis in Detroit. That was making headlines. That's some trigger points. You have words like that. Headlines, crisis. Just get them in their emotions. That's where they're going with that when they speak like that. They say my city's in a crisis. Shouldn't be like this. $1 million churches, but the hood ain't righteous. Oh man, it was all types of big ass churches being built and made. I mean, y'all know how this shit go in the hood. When it's a crisis, we gotta have that Just get them scared. That's how all this shit work. Get people scared. Give them something to run to, something to believe in when it's a crisis. That's the so-called cure. Just give them something to believe in, capitalize. They say my city's in a crisis. Shouldn't be like this. $1 million churches, but the hood ain't righteous. I write this kind of poem with Kwame in mind. Would the media destroy him if he wasn't my kind? Man, contrary to belief, all he was doing is looking out, doing the same thing that's been going on for years, putting people in position and juggling funds. If I know you got this company, why not give somebody I know the hands up on a contract? But I guess that's called, is it embezzlement? I don't know. I mean, it's levels to the whole government tactics and word forms and paper forms and things you can and cannot do. But for years and years upon years, we've always heard the stories of people looking out for each other. But would the media destroy him if he wasn't my kind? Because a few years ago he was praised. Oh yeah, when he first was coming through the ropes, people was looking at Kwame like, okay, he that one. Not to mention his family tree, family up there, all the way up in Lansing already in government, family already. It's like the lines were just set up for him. He could have been Obama, maybe. Arguably, people on the streets spoke on that sometime. That was the semi-word on the street. In hindsight, that it could have been led up for him to bust those type of moves, be put in that position. But respect to Kwame, of course, he's on a whole nother path, non-political, working for God and the message. Kind of caught a couple seconds of some clips of some videos here and there. But listen to me. Because a few years ago he was praised. Many was afraid just because of his age. Front page every issue, there's another scandal. The city got a budget that the mayor can't handle. Oh man, that's the line speaks for itself. City council, they was going at it. I'm talking about them about to fight in some of the meetings amongst each other and with the people in the audience. It's so vivid right now. I'm actually seeing these moments. The city got a budget that the mayor can't handle. The system would never tell the truth, admit it. And there'll never be another Comey Young, forget it. Now, if you know about Detroit and Comey Young, that's synonymous with just legend status. Coleman didn't give a fuck. Coleman to say, fuck him in a minute. We doing this. We working for this. I mean, I don't know if it was hidden hands and all types of other stuff, but the energy of just Coleman amongst the 80s, the 90s, Coleman was talking that talk, and he gave off that aura of this our city, and we keeping it black, and we going in the right direction. That's what he represented. That's what he represented. And there'll never be another Comey Young, forget it. Got people in the sky to the lies and stories. Now you know how that go. People in the sky to the lies and stories. It's always when it gets to that whole political game, you know, so many moving hands and hidden hands. Got people in the skies telling lies and stories. $1 million condos that ain't built for me. Oh man. From the west side of Detroit, I saw that shit. Some of builders were just popping up in houses and all types of buildings. I'm looking like, where's that shit coming from? People over here ain't got that type of bread and money. And now you pass through them same neighborhoods, they ain't even looking like this. Off top, ride through. I ride through my old neighborhood. It's people of different descents walking through carefree with dogs. Little puppies riding down streets that I know friends and got taken out on. For real, for real. They passing through carefree on their bikes like these. Should we be mad or should we be happy? They think we all foolish. No, let me get that back. Seems like the end of Black Detroit is getting closer and closer. All the whites moving back, trying to change my culture. They did that already. But this right here was in the midst of that shit when I saw it happen, when I wrote this. Seems like the end of Black Detroit is getting closer and closer. All the whites moving back, trying to change my culture. They think we all foolish pimps and hoes. But fuck the man, fuck the system, put yourself in control. At the end of the day, that's what you gotta do. It's only so much the mayor gonna represent, the streets gonna represent, the political agenda's gonna represent. You still gotta get up and take care of your household. And whatever you got going on, at the end of the day, you have to wake up and pertain to business as usual. Make that bread, make that money. It's that form of peace. Man, that shit real. Man, this shit is real. Man. I want you to get yours. If y'all don't take nothing from these videos, just take away the messages to make you think, make you work, get you in tune, to have you in tune, to understand that you can be somebody, you can reach your goals. Set small goals, write that shit down. Baby steps. It gotta be the biggest. Just put it in different increments of trying to find a way to reach. Because you can do it. You gotta be tough up here. You gotta have mental toughness. You gotta have thick skin. It won't always go your way. It's gonna be those moments when you wanna just crash and burn and just be like, ah man, fuck all this. Somebody just flip it on over like a big ass table. Just be like I'll flip all this shit over. It's gonna be the moments. You gotta have mental toughness. So on that note, I'm gonna get into this one poem and piece I wrote. That's called Mental Toughness. I'm gonna read this one off the ink. I think I read this in a minute. We're gonna see how this will turn out. Listen to me. Mentally tough is an option. You see, it's easy to fold. Some had a path that was clear but didn't realize it until they got old. You ain't built for this. Your daily day come with excuses. and sitting up congregating, drinking about the past, doing all that is useless. It's a reason you on the sideline, got opinions and just talking. See, that's the difference. We getting making mistakes and money. You sitting there and we walking. The challenge is always mental. You defeated before you even started. Can't stop, won't stop. I don't agree with everything he do, but that's how homeboy charted. Take that, take that. The lines of deception is drawing confusion. You keep making progress, but comparison keep making it seem like you losing. So prepare yourself, because the grind comes from roughness. Separate yourself. Block it out. And that's mental toughness. Mental toughness. You have to have that. Rap talk, that's that piece. Mental toughness. You gotta have that. You're living in a world, you gotta have thick skin. If you ain't got it, you can lose easily. It's gonna be people that don't agree with you. It's gonna be moments where you have to overlook things, people, and things that come your way. These goals is yours. These ain't everybody else's. It was given to you. That's why you gotta be a believer. Believing is a powerful tool. That's what can separate you also. Are you a believer? I mean, like, do you really believe in the things that you do? Do you really feel that it can happen? I mean, really think about that. It might sound simple, but do you really, really deep down inside believe that what you walking towards and what you doing can really happen and flourish for you? That's what separates most. You have to feel that shit. I wrote this poem in piece called Believer. Listen to me. Listen to me. You're gonna disco through this. I feel it. I know it can happen. I pray. I work. My thoughts have turned to action. I believe in meditation. I believe in me. When the belief is low, I talk to God. I walk through the dark with my wisdom seeing light. I made it through the struggle because I had strength in the fight. I jumped in the water with the thoughts of sink or swim. Nah, I take that back. My thoughts were swim, swim, swim. I made it. I made it because I had belief. I made it, my people, because my strength runs deep. The believer. Rap talk. It's that poem of peace. Thank y'all for tuning in, rocking out with me. Share this video with somebody else. Get yours. I say it so often, I just want you to get yours. Let's just get through life, not always trying to be the consumer. Think like the man behind the register. Think like the business owner. What your man Pac used to always say, plan, plot, strategize. Convert that to business. Plan, plot, strategize. And of course, you got to put in that work. But I'll get with y'all in a minute, though. Poetry and conversations, meditation poems, spoken word with Lofi beats. Just flick this video to somebody else. Share the video to make the channel grow. Let's prove the world wrong about positivity or about, rap talk. Oh, let me do this in a minute. I ain't did this in a minute. I ain't gave y'all one of these. I ain't wind that boy up in a minute and gave y'all one of these.